Are you listening? Damn.
Hey guys, I'm Courtney,
And I'm Josh.
Yeah.
and welcome to the Infinite Balance Podcast.
We'll navigate parenting, relationships, health, fitness, and so much more.
So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's hang out.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello.
So this week, welcome back, by the way.
Yes, welcome back.
So this week we decided to talk about another, not so entirely happy topic.
But one we think people can relate with.
Especially during this year, this season, this time, how things have been. It's about being stuck. And it might not be, in the bigger sense of the word stuck. It might be you're just stuck in your place at work and you feel like you have no place to go, nothing that you can change up. And, we're just here to kind of talk and help you through it because we've been going through it at the same time. And I think a lot of people that we've been talking to lately have been going through the same or experiencing the same. So we just wanted to take some time and, bring it up.
Yeah, I know a lot of people I know have kind of said that, like, September was hard for, like, the sales game because, it's back to school. People were kind of unsure what was happening in the world. It was still kind of that, like, question mark phase. And then October was a little bit better. And then November, I think because September and October had been kind of weird months, come November, a lot of people just started to feel off. And now, like right now, they still feel just kind of stuck. Like they're not really getting any traction. They feel better about it, but they feel more like, okay, you know what? Just got to make it through December. We're almost at January and it's a new year. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad way to look at it, but I also don't know if it's 100% the right way to look at it.
Right.
I know I was feeling stuck for quite a while. And this week, not even like the full week, it was like maybe like on Wednesday, I just woke up and was like, no, I'm changing it. And I did some yoga, which I don't do yoga. I did some meditation, which I don't do meditation. And I did that at 5 a.m. Like just woke up and did it. And it has helped me a lot this week. I still feel like there's aspects where I'm stuck, but I know this week I've also been able to work on a lot of things that I think I've been afraid to work on until now. And I don't think I would have done it if I hadn't been stuck and still sort of stuck.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to feel stuck because now, like Thursday and Friday, I was like going hard working on new content and trying to shift gears a little bit. And today I felt very stuck because today's Fridays.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday.
That's the type of weeks we've been in lately.
Wednesday and Thursday I did a lot of stuff, and today was kind of like, okay, I'm so excited, but nothing's happening. Now what? Like it didn't change overnight, and that's not going to. So even while being in one phase of being stuck, I'm experiencing different styles of being stuck, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been experiencing it. I talked about it in our last episode a little bit, where I've been experiencing it in all different ways. And like last week, I couldn't get up the motivation one day to exercise, so instead I decided to flip it around and I did yoga and I did meditation instead, just to try to recenter myself a little bit. And I think that's what the most part it's about. I don't think there's always ways to get out of being stuck. If, sometimes you're in a situation that you're stuck in because you're meant to learn something from it, or you're meant to gain something from it, or sometimes it's just how it goes. And I'm not saying it to make it sound like a moot point, like don't even try, but it's more of like sometimes you're just meant to practice the art of finding your best way through it, you know? And I think that's what we've been doing a lot lately, is to try to make the best of it that we can, you know? We're two people who are trying to start our businesses really hard, and, you know, we're two people who, you know, want immediate results, and it's very hard to, you know, pursue your dreams and your goals like this if you don't see that immediate progress, you know? And I think that's been hammering down on us both a lot lately. You know, and it takes a while. It takes a while to get recognized. It takes a while to get your name out there, to get word of mouth going. It takes a lot, you know? And I think you hit it on the head when you were talking about when everybody was starting to go back to work for a couple months, and then, you know, cases started popping up, or, you know, whatever. And now we're all of a sudden, it's been like 10 months of summertime, and now we're into winter and Christmas, and everybody's just really thrown off by that. And, you know, it's been a rough year for everybody. A lot of people have gone through a lot of hardships where they, you know, they can't afford that much for Christmas, or they can't, you know, keep up with the season. And, you know, I think it's important around this time to just kind of take a step back and take a deep breath and just, you know, allow yourself to feel how you feel, but don't think of being stuck all the time as a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about embracing being stuck. I think one of the best ways to actually come out of feeling stuck is embracing it and kind of letting it just be. You know, there's something to be said about the season of being stuck. And I think that's when a lot of people, when you can embrace that you feel stuck, that's when people at the end of that's when they start seeing some really amazing things. Because especially like us trying to run our own businesses, when you're trying to get a business started and you have those moments and those seasons of being stuck, when you come out of that, you appreciate it more. So that when you're in that flow and things are going and things are working, you're good. You appreciate being stuck at one point.
Right. You know, going back to like people who are like us, where you know, you like to see immediate results, and you might have your mindset on the future at the same time, but it also kind of sucks not getting the results that you want or expect to see right off the bat. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way at all. I think the biggest part of that is to just realize that not everything can happen in the blink of an eye. Not everything is meant to be an overnight process. Sometimes you are meant to wait in limbo, and sometimes you are meant to get things right off the bat, and sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
And I think that adds value to the entire process in the way that you get to a new level of something, or, you know, going with the gamers out there, you unlock an achievement, or, you know, you score high on a test or something like that. And then there's almost that notion of like, okay, now what? And I think it's the same thing with people like us, especially when like you want immediate results. A lot of people in diets go through this when they reach that plateau, and it just takes a while to start getting going again.
Guilty.
When all you really need is to just let your body get time to align to what's going on, and then it'll start going again. You know, you just got to stick with it and be vigilant. And I think it's the same thing with getting stuck sometimes, is that sometimes there is something to learn, sometimes there's not. And it's just a process that you have to kind of teach yourself to be okay with once in a while.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you can do to get yourself through it at the same time. You know, like you were doing your business stuff this morning, and while you were working, instead of like just throwing on the TV for background noise or whatever, like you had music going instead. And, you know, that's usually a really good way to get things going. That's how I mix things up during the day. If like the kids are acting nuts, you know, I just throw my hands up and I'm like, all right, you know, I turn the speakers on and we do a dance party, or I make lunch to, you know, make lunch to whatever playlist I want to have going, you know, stuff like that. And I think that it's a big thing to kind of allow yourself. And I say that a lot, but like, you know, people push and they push and they push and they just want it gone and they just want to get to where they're going. But when you like allow things to just happen sometimes, you start noticing things. You start noticing opportunities that you might have canceled out before. You start noticing situations popping up that you're like, oh, okay, this could be an interesting avenue. This could be an interesting choice or whatever. And you might even become interested in one of the alternate choices that you wouldn't have become interested in before.
Yeah.
You know?
I think one of the perfect examples of that is, I mean, I got into fitness because of COVID. I mean, I coach athletics, but I got into fitness because it was COVID, and I kind of was like, all right, this has been in my face for a couple of months. I'm going to jump into it. Right now is the perfect time. And because work was a little slow and there wasn't really much going on, we couldn't get recruits on campus. Nobody really knew what was going on. I was able to kind of say yes to an opportunity I maybe wouldn't have said yes to otherwise. And I know you gave the gamer analogy, so I'll give the sports analogy that when I think of being stuck, I think of like volleyball. There's some teams that you play against that it's a walk in the park win and it's boring and you don't appreciate that win. You end it and you're just like, all right, cool. Now what? Like, okay, cool. And so then you have other games where for volleyball, it's 5 sets. Like I have teams in my head right now thinking of the games, and sometimes you lose those games and then sometimes you win them. And I know those are the games that, especially when you win, it's so amazing. And you enjoy it more because it was hard. There were moments where you felt like it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to go in your favor. And I think we have to look at being stuck in less of a negative way and look at it more of, this is an opportunity. And when I come out on the other side of this, I'm going to appreciate everything that happens that much more.
Yeah. When you get stuck in the negative mindset, it becomes very distracting, you know, and I fell into that for a couple of days this past week where somebody could literally be talking to me and I'll be like, wait, what? Like I just completely lost, and, I've been very clouded minded lately and stuff like that. So, what I try to do is just try to take those moments, and when I realize what's going on, I try to take my opportunities to take a step back and just clear my head. Okay, I want a mindless night. I'm going to stay off my phone. I'm going to stay off of social media. I'm not going to do anything tonight, and I'm just going to ride this out.
You embrace it.
Yeah. And I'm just going to be with it. And that's what I mean by allowing yourself to do it. Because, doing things like that, it helps you refocus, and it helps, if you keep trying to, what can I do?
Yeah.
I'm not doing something right.
If you keep fighting it.
If you keep going against it. I heard a genius analogy from a therapist that I knew from years ago. And he said, think of how much energy it takes to fight a raging river. And everybody in the room had the same answer. He goes, why would you fight the river? And they all said, because that's what we do. We're fighters. We if you go with the flow, you're just letting everything happen to you. And he's like, but you're missing that if you go with the flow, you also have an easier chance to reach shore. And if you're fighting the current, more likely than not, you're going to get exhausted and you're going to go under. And I think that's the stage that we're seeing a lot of people at right now, is they're kind of feeling like their heads are bobbing up and down, and they're feeling like they just need a life preserver, somebody to throw them a bone and get them out of there. That's basically what, is the motivation behind what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
It's the simple stuff that we keep repeating. It's the meditations. It's giving yourself a break. And we keep repeating these because it's the 2 or 3 things that people, it's so easy to brush off. Like, okay, I'll do that. I'll do that later. I promise. But right now I have to do this.
Yeah.
And no, that's not always the case. Right now, you can take time for yourself and appreciate what's happening and just be with yourself, because that's what you need right now. If you want to be productive in everything else that you take on and that you do after this point, that's fine. But you're only going to get there if you give yourself this moment.
I know that's something that I have trouble with is
All of us do.
Is letting go of that. And I know I am very fortunate. We've had her on, Kristen. Her and I have talked about how sometimes her and I are really in the same mindset. And one of those, that mindset that we were in kind of right now was like taking a step back from being stressed. And it was something that we didn't even realize that we were both super stressed about different and similar things until it literally made us like stop in our tracks. And when I know what stopped me was the second guessing of like, oh my gosh, have I been making the right decisions? Am I doing the right thing? Is this worth it? And the second I felt that way, I was like, wait a minute. You literally preach that you have to do the hard work and that, you know, you can't just give up. You have to keep trying because that's when you're going to see the results. And when I realized that I was having those second guessing thoughts, that's when I realized I was stuck and I was pushing against the raging current. I was pushing, saying, oh my gosh, no, I have to keep pushing. I know it's not working, but I have to keep going. I have to make it work. It's got to work out. I need this to work out, instead of just being like, okay, it's not working yet or right now. So I'm just going to like get a raft, float down this river. And when the time is right, get back on shore. And I'm slowly getting closer to shore and I feel better about that, you know. And it's not going to be perfect. There's not going to be, you know, today I'm on the shore and now I'm on the shore for good. It might be today I'm on the shore, but tomorrow I'm wading in the river. You know, it's that. I think that's something that you also have to kind of accept, is that once you're out of the stuck, there's still going to be days that you become stuck again.
And sometimes out of the blue.
Yeah. Oh, and that happens to me all the time. I feel like it'll happen midday. You could wake up and be like, this is great. I feel great. I'm productive. And then one little thing could literally turn your day around, and it's okay. I think that's the biggest thing from this. It's okay. And what we do works for us. What you do works for you. It might not be the same. It might be, it might not, who knows? But it's being open to understanding that you're stuck for a reason and it's okay. You'll get past it. And not driving
yourself crazy about what that reason is.
Yeah.
Because that's me. Like, if I get into this situation, I'm one who, like, sort of aggressively tries to figure it out. Because that's what I'm wired to do, you know? And that's what I help people that I work with do. And, you know, it becomes almost like a sickness at times where, you know, it feels like I can't let myself relax at points because I want to, like, oh, I should know what's going on. I should know what lesson I'm supposed to get from this and whatever. And sometimes the lesson is that you're not supposed to know. Sometimes you're just supposed to breathe it out. And then a couple of days later, you might see like, oh my God, I've been stagnant because this big thing is coming and the universe just happened to put it in my favor today, you know? And sometimes it takes a week or two. It's not going to be forever. It's not going to be, you know, an eternal struggle that like you feel like it might be in that moment. And it's not for you to figure out in that point in time for whatever reason. So just ride it out, you know? And that's what I don't mean you can't do anything. Do things you enjoy. Do things to bring up your serotonin levels. Do things to release the dopamine and, you know, relax yourself and put yourself in a great mood. You know, make sure that you're supporting your body and not just giving in like, oh my God, I want to eat all this crap and I want to drink like crazy and I want to do all this stuff. Like, don't just give in to those things. Allow it if that's what you really want to do.
I was just going to say that.
Have a slice of pizza. have a drink, have some tacos or some chips or something like that.
Eat that Hershey's bar, girl.
Yeah, by all means. And, but just don't let yourself dive into it. Don't let yourself fall through that hole.
Yeah, don't have like a whole pie.
Yeah.
Don't have all of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Don't eat the entire bag of M&Ms. Like,
Yeah.
find a moderation of it so that you indulge, but you don't overdo it.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that we talked about in our last episode with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Let yourself enjoy things. Like I enjoy playing video games sometimes, and I've been putting that off a lot recently over just trying to get stuff done, trying to get business stuff done, everything that's been happening on the sidelines that we're trying to take care of. And sometimes I'm just like, no, tonight I'm just hanging out, I'm just playing games, and I'm just enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I wake up in the morning so different and refreshed just because I gave myself that.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes you got to break up the day. It doesn't matter what environment you're in. Sometimes you need some music. So throw on some headphones and listen to some music.
Mm-hmm.
It's about doing what you can to support yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. If it makes you feel better to pray or to meditate, go ahead. If it makes you feel better to work out, go ahead. Regardless of how you feel about that moment, there's, oh, I don't want to work out today. And then there's like, oh my God, I feel like the world's bearing down on me. I don't want to work out. Those are different. And the weight of those is different and how they affect you in the long term. So if you take that a little, oh my God, the world feels so heavy. Well, good. Lift it out or run it out or walk it out or do something that your body's going to end up enjoying. Even if you don't know it in the moment, do something that is so simple, but you enjoy it. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I think that was perfectly well said. I completely agree with that. Find what works for you.
Mic drop. I don't know how loud that was.
I think it's just so important. Like, you. And have kind of like go through your Rolodex of what works for you. Because you also, like, we have kids. And I know there are times where I'm like, I really want to go for a run. But I can't because I've got 3 kids that I can't just be like, all right, peace out. Mom's going to go run for an hour. It doesn't work that way. So I go through the Rolodex of what's going to work at that time.
Can you explain for like the 90s kids and younger what a Rolodex is?
Hey, I was born in 1990, all right? I'm a 90s kid. So a Rolodex is, if you're an Office fan, you should know this, but it's like it was like a phone book, except everyone had like a little card and you could spin this dial. Maybe I'll put a picture up on Instagram of it because I feel like I'm not explaining it the right way. I have the image in my head. Like it was like encased and it was like you would pull the clear case back and there'd be all these cards and you'd roll it until you got to the letter that you were looking for and it had their phone number, their address, whatever on it.
She's very happy explaining this. It seems like such a joyful thing.
I don't know.
It's the actual real world physical equivalent if you were to open up your contact list on your phone and just like flick scroll it up.
I think a phone, or a phone book. It was like the first phone book.
There you go.
And then, so you had the Rolodex, then you had the phone book, and then you had your phone.
That was after the operators that had to move the plugs up and down, right?
I don't know. You're older than me. You tell me. So anyway, go through your little Rolodex of things that are going to help you. If you want to go for a run and you can't because you've got kids, like do some cardio inside with them. Or if you know that going for a run or exercising also gives you the same feeling as putting on some like amazing 90s dance vibes, put those on. Like find what kind of works to just help you feel joy, because I think that's something that when you're feeling stuck, it's so hard sometimes to feel joy.
Yep.
Because you're trying to figure out why you're stuck. You're trying to be unstuck. You hate the feeling and you're trying so hard to fight it. Find something that brings you joy. It's not going to fix the problem. It's not going to completely take you out of being stuck, but it's going to give you that push of getting back on track.
Yep. And sometimes it's not that easy to see. Sometimes you need an outside point of view to see, to come up with ideas. You know, sometimes they just hit you on the fly, you know, like in one of those situations where I wanted to work out, but the kids were running crazy and stuff like that. I said, let's put these situations together. And I went for a really long walk with them, and I took them all to this park that nobody ever goes to. And I was literally able to climb all over the playground equipment, and they were able to just run around and go crazy, and I could chase them. And there you go. That's your workout. That's your... And, you know, you can do push-ups, pull-ups, whatever you can think of doing. You can run around. You can just, and you're burning their energy out and you're having fun doing it. And it's not just like a mundane task.
Yeah.
You know, and we mean that kind of stuff when it comes to breaking your norm or just out of the blue coming up with something. Or there's, you know, the good old fallbacks. Write in a journal. Just, you know, I call it mind explosions. Just pick up a pen and paper and then just start writing. It doesn't matter anything. I literally could start writing blah, 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 you know, this, and this, and then all of a sudden everything just pukes out onto the paper, you know, and it's relieving after you experience something like that because you're like, whoa, I didn't know I had 4 pages of stuff in my head.
And it doesn't have to be coherent thoughts.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
words.
at all.
I will say I do like mind explosion, I think a little bit more than brain dump. But I do believe they're the same thing.
They definitely are, but it's I call it mind explosions because ever since I was a kid, like when thoughts just were too fast for me to catch them, I like whenever I would go through these situations, like it would make me bug out. And so that's the term I kind of coined for it is if like I didn't release it, it was gonna explode.
No,
somehow.
I mean, I think I'm definitely gonna use a mind explosion over brain dump. That just sounds like, I don't know. I just like that more.
Yep.
So just had to throw that in there.
Good. I'm glad. So, you know, just to throw this out there, that if you guys need help finding things, you know, we live through this stuff every day just like you do. You know, we are professionally trained in the art of behavior management. We are professionally trained in nutrition, in fitness, in, you know, dietary mentalities and all kinds of good stuff. You know, if you need original ideas, you can hit us up. She's at _infinite.balance on Instagram, and I'm at JBBalance on Instagram. And you can also get links to our link trees, our web pages, how to get in touch with us, all that good stuff.
Check the show notes.
And just hit us up and, hey, I need some ideas. I want to talk. I need to take part in your 6-month program. I need to do this. I need to do that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, you can hit us up and we're here to help you out.
Yeah, we'll help you figure out. I mean, literally, even if it's just like, hey, how do I brain dump? How do I mind explosion? What is that?
Yep.
Don't be afraid to just kind of reach out and get that like outside perspective too. Like, hey, music's not working. What else should I do? Like, we'll help you out.
There's a ton of different ideas that if we get to know you, we can cater them to you. We can come up with something for your lifestyle, for what you're going through.
Yeah, especially if it's something that you feel like you've been in for a while. I wouldn't want to just like give you the generic random like, oh, you could do this kind of like what we're doing now, like
10 steps to lose 10 pounds in 10 days.
Unhealthy. But yeah, no, like let us get to know you so we can help you.
You're starting.
Oh, man. What is something you are looking forward to in the new year?
Where it's going to take us, I would say. You know, as a family, what's going to be happening with our kids. We talked about Philip going to school in the morning for 5 days in a row, which I think would be great for him. I think we'll see a lot of progress come out of that. Michael, I think he's just going to continue rocking and rolling like he's doing and just have a good time. Mila's going to be talking so many sentences and stuff. So I'm just interested to see where it's going to go. At this point, I think, 2020 threw everybody a gigantic monkey wrench upside the head. But yeah, I'm just interested to see open slate. What's going to happen?
Yeah. All right. I like it.
About you?
Kind of same thing. I feel like we're both in a place right now where like getting sort of out of that stuck feeling, starting to make moves that
we're open to anything.
Anyway, I feel like it's going to be a good year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just excited to see what happens. I forgot I have to add more.
Yeah, you got to do the G's.
Told
you.
That sounded terrible. That was really bad of me. I'm so sorry, everyone, that you had to hear that.
She'll get better. It'll be okay. If you had to pick one goal out of everything that you want to do, it can be business or personal or whatever, not a generic goal, one specific goal to hold you accountable to by the end of 2021, what would it be?
I would, by the end of 2021, absolutely, positively, it's going to happen, but the goal is to
300,000 a year
by 2021.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, that can be your goal, but my goal my goal is to not only have doubled what I've made from my business this year. I want to, and I can't think of the proper word for it, but I want to be making 3 times what I did this year. I want my business to be what I see it being right now. And I mean, by this time next year, I want it like what my vision is right now. I want to go past that. I want my business to be someplace I'm not even visualizing it because I don't even know it can go there.
Okay. That's a good answer.
What about you?
By the end of 2021, I want my business to be self-sustained. And by that, I mean we are reaching, we have like a solid income from it and everything is evened out. And like I have a specific goal in mind for numbers and such like that. But just out of respect for listeners, I don't want to, put that price out there. But, I have a lot of things that I have in the works, and I have an idea for an end goal that I want to reach by this time, 2021.
Okay.
So, self-sustaining business and, getting bills paid.
Yeah.
Doing that kind of stuff, I don't want to say like living comfortably because I feel like that sounds so...
More financial security.
Yeah. I
think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Or financial freedom.
Yep.
All right, Joshua. What is your all-time, like nothing else, this is all you have for the rest of your life, favorite food?
Ew, but if I had nothing but it for the rest of my life, I'd probably get really tired of it after about 3 days.
Well, I mean, that's everyone, but it's got to be like ultimate favorite food for the rest of your life. That's all that's available to you. So you have to think about that.
Can I survive off of whatever it is?
Okay, taking all the rules of life out of it. If this was all you could have for the rest of your life, this is all you could have.
It
has to be your favorite food.
If I ate like baklava for the rest of my life, like that'd be
your
great.
Favorite?
But like,
is that your favorite food? It's what your favorite
you.
food is.
if I ate baklava for the rest of my life, I'd be like 8,000 pounds, and
Well, that's
know,
why we're taking
with
all the rules of.
diabetes
That's
and
why
all
we're
this-
taking all the rules of life out of this.
All right, so I was gonna say avocado at first, but then I'm like, no, it just tastes so bland.
Yeah, no.
I usually put it with stuff.
Yeah.
Empanadas.
Ooh, nice.
Yep.
See, I was gonna say like a taco or a burrito, because if you think about it, you got like everything in there. You got lettuce, you got meat, you got cheese. Why do you say empanadas?
Because they're damn delicious. They're really good. Now,
Empanadas are really good.
it's really hard to mess them up, and I feel like I've had one that wasn't that great.
Was
but
the one I made?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember which one it was, but I
Mm.
think there was one in my history, and it only stands out because it was just one.
When you have just one that's that terrible, it stands out.
Yeah, like, how do you mess this up, you know? But, yep, I'd pretty much say it was that, straight up.
There you go. I think it's
Now,
funny.
there's all different types, so do I have to get specific with a type?
No, we'll let it fly with just an empanada. Because, like, for me, like, I love, like, tacos or burritos, but if it's a burrito, sometimes I like a burrito bowl.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a taco, sometimes I like crispy, sometimes I like soft. So, like, you don't have to get that into it. It's just empanada. That's your favorite food.
I think I'd go with chicken.
Chicken empanada?
Chicken empanadas with, like,
Ooh, a good creamy cheese sauce.
no. I'm thinking chicken empanadas with, like, empanadas. I feel like I said
Empanadas.
it, like I'm hearing in my own voice, and I'm like, ew, what is that?
Banana.
Chicken empanadas with like some spinach and some like brown rice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that would be my ideal. Because the sauce and stuff is pretty much a given. Like, if you know how to make them, you know how to make them. So I don't have to include all that.
So whoever made that one bad empanada, he would not
You
want
done messed
you.
up,
He would
bro.
not want you to be making the empanadas for the rest of his
You
life.
done messed up, bro.
Oh, okay.
Or sis. I don't know. I don't remember who it was. I don't know. All right, my turn, huh?
Yes, sir.
What would be your all-time favorite fragrance? And now I'm going to say fragrance, but I mean like smell, like a candle or like
Like scent of a candle or like
a
an air
perfume.
mist.
Like, what's your just all-time favorite?
I love sugar cookie candles.
That's right.
I
That's
love
right.
them.
I actually forgot about that.
That's like the
right.
one candle that like I don't get tired of. I mean there's also like the Christmas ones and the holiday ones, but like all time favorite, could smell it any time of the year and I would be very fine with it, is sugar cookie candles.
What was the one that I stole from your mom's bathroom? Or the kitchen, maybe? Not from her
Probably-
bathroom, but from the bathroom.
Yeah. I probably that. I don't know. I
It was
know.
like, I don't know what it was, but I really liked it. And I remember I was like, I'm taking this wherever I go.
I also probably would enjoy a gingerbread cookie candle, but I
Mhm.
don't know that I've ever had one. So sugar cookies all I can go off.
Now, do you have a specific like brand? Because I know like some of it, like if you go to like some of the dollar store candles or whatever,
Yeah,
some
no,
of them
not
can be
dollar
like
store.
overly like.
Yeah, no, I don't want like, no offense to Dollar Store because they've got some great stuff. But
She gave a look like I actually just offended her. I didn't mean anything. by
no,
it.
no, no. I know you didn't offend me. I prefer, when it comes to candles, you gotta spend a little money. I prefer like the Yankee Candle or like Bath and Body Works has like their own candle line. It's like no longer Bath and Body Works. It's got a whole like red barn, white barn. I don't know. But like it's one of those companies. Bath and Body Works has some pretty good candles that are a little bit more affordable.
So you'd say sugar cookies your top?
Yeah, And with gingerbread in that close second, because I don't know that I've had a lot of gingerbread cookie candles, and I would be very interested to see how that compares year round.
Interesting. I don't know that I have a favorite now that I'm thinking about it. Like I'm looking at the candle that's right. It's like a vanilla one, I think.
Yeah, I mean vanilla, those like sea
Tobacco
breeze,
blossom.
like
That
those.
sounds so like cancerous.
Yeah, I don't. That's a weird name.
Is that the brand name? I don't even know.
No, the brand is on the front.
Tobacco blossom scented candle. I don't know. Whatever. But I like specifically the candles that have
Smells good.
like a good natural scent to them.
Yeah.
That's not overpowering like the ones like I specifically remember shopping at Family Dollar and we got like sugar cookies and holiday cookie assortment candles.
Yeah, those can be overwhelming.
And they're like, oh my God, it was like somebody punched sugar cookie like smell into your face. Like that's what it felt like.
I wish our listeners could smell this candle because it smells a little bit like a vanilla sugar cookie, but there's like...
But it's tobacco something.
But yeah, so maybe that's the hint is the tobacco.
I don't know.
Because it smells like...
just a little spicy.
I like it. It smells like vanilla sugar cookie, but there's like a little punch
while your
of
grandmother's making them, she's also smoking a cigarette.
there's like a little punch of something. It almost reminds me of like mixed with like a little bit of like a Christmassy smell. I don't know. It smells like I'm gonna put it down because I keep smelling.
But I like those kind of scents where they're like subtle,
like natural.
But yeah, they're natural. They're subtle. If you left the room and came back in, you'd be like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" But it's not like bam, like Yankee Candle, like your face is gonna melt from all the aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your favorite? So weird. What is your favorite time to go to sleep?
My favorite time to go to sleep.
I mean, I know you're a night owl, but
yeah,
like, what's your like ideal, perfect time to go to sleep?
Now this is one I can answer either way. Is it now how things are, or is it with no consequences?
Both.
That's terrible. That's 2 questions in one, and that's cheating.
You have given me like 3 questions in one before, so like.
But that's perfectly allowed. I'm cheesing really hard. All right, so if there were no rules, I would say, and like I would wake up whenever I wanted to, perfectly fine. I would say probably like 2 or 3 a.m. would be my ideal, like bedtime.
Okay. And like welcome back to reality. What's your
welcome back to reality? 9 p.m.
Okay.
At the latest, I'd say 9 p.m.
Can hang with that.
Gives me enough time for sleep and to try to get up a little bit early before the kids get up and stuff like that, and try to get some stuff done. And
I thought your reality was going to be like closer to like 10.
No, only because I look at it and I look at all my sleeping hours because I've had such crazy sleep schedules like throughout my life. Like I always think like if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, my body's going to want to sleep until 6. So if I go to sleep at 9, my body's going to want to sleep until 5. If I want to get like an extra half hour, no harm, no foul. It's not that much time. But I feel like in our situation, the closer to 6:30, 7, then the kids start getting up and then things start rolling with the day and it just starts getting too close for comfort. So ideally like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Doesn't always happen, but.
No, I think for me, anything like obviously closer to 9, but anything before 10.
What would be your ideal breed of dog?
Breed of dog, like creating my own breed, like the characteristics, or like an
like
actual
if you
breed
had
of dog.
an actual breed to just pick from.
If I could combine and create my own breed, because that's what I would have to do. I would want like a golden doodle.
Mm-hmm.
I really want a golden doodle, but if I could combine like a golden doodle with Duncan, that would be like a great dog.
That's like all the basic breeds all mixed into one.
Well, I mean, and I was going to say a Mastiff in it, but I don't actually know a lot of the traits of a Mastiff.
They're big.
Yeah, I just know they're big. And I kind of love them. But I know they're big. So, I mean, I guess those three. Mastiff, Golden Doodle, and Duncan.
Which
Duncan's
is a Maltese.
Maltese Shih Tzu, yeah.
That's a mix. Oh, my God. That thing would be
But if I had to pick a breed that's like a thing right now, I would want a Golden Doodle.
Basic.
No, basic is wanting a mini Golden Doodle.
Yeah.
Which at one point I did want. Because I was basic AF at one point in my life.
You know what I would want? There's a couple of them.
You want a Mastiff.
I want a Bull Mastiff. An English Bull Mastiff.
Mm-hmm.
They're awesome. But I'm a big dog kind of guy.
Yeah.
And like I like Burmese mountain dogs. I like this one dog came into the clinic and it looked like a pit bull Great Dane. It was the size of a Great Dane, but with the slim pit bull features and face.
Pit bulls are great.
Yeah, it was a beautiful dog, and it was the most loving dog I've ever seen in my life. But between Bull Mastiff and some kind of mixture like that, it would be my ideal dog. All right, guys, it's been a good episode.
I hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.